the break, I want to talk to you a little bit again about our good friends at Harry Buffalo North Olmsted, the UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championships, some of the hottest fights in the world today. Each and every one of their huge events, Harry Buffalo is one of the few places in Northeast Ohio you can go there and watch each and every UFC fight at the Harry Buffalo. And let me tell you, I've been there. The people are out the door. They are to the rafters. It is one of the craziest environments for some UFC fights. Wing Mondays, they've got great deals on wings and drinks, and every day of the week there's a different special, a different deal. And don't forget the Bison Burger, the unbelievable. It is the combination of a fantastic burger and eating healthy combined into one unbelievable sandwich. You have got to get a Bison Burger while you're there. So whatever you're looking for, whatever day of the week, Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sundays, there's something for you at the Harry Buffalo North Olmsted, just outside Great Northern Mall. Check them out today. Harry Buffalo, join the herd.
Hey everybody, this is Jerry the King Lawler from WWE, and you're listening to the Sports Fix.
Whether it's an oil change or a new set of tires, Quick Lane at Valley Ford Truck has you covered for your automotive car care needs. They're your neighborhood quick service experts. They also offer a low price tire guarantee. Choose from 13 brands, and if you find the same tires at a lower price within 30 days, Quick Lane at Valley Ford will refund the difference. They're open late Monday through Thursday until 9 p.m. and open early Saturday so you can check it off your to-do list and get on with your day. They also have a newly remodeled service lounge and additional service bay just for Quick Lane oil changes. Quick Lane at Valley Ford Truck is located at 5715 Canal Road, right under the 480 Bridge in Valley View, just down the road from Independence. 5715 Canal Road, right under the 480 from Independence. Come see why life is /Valley Ford Truck. That's quicklane.com /Valley Ford Truck.
The Sports Fix is on iHeartRadio. Download the free iHeart app today. Subscribe to the show and get your fix.
You love Cleveland, and you already know how much we love Cleveland. You know who else loves Cleveland? GV Art and Design. Everyday fans, you and I wear our pride on our sleeves. Now, you can wear your pride on your chest. GV Art and Design has one of the hottest Cleveland sporting lines. Log on right now to gvartwork.com. Check out all of their fantastic designs. And don't forget, use the sales code FIX10, FIX10, to save 10% on your total purchase. Follow gvartwork.com on Facebook, and remember, GV Art and Design, it's not just a shirt, it's a statement.
You're listening to the Sports Fix.
Welcome back to the Sports Fix, live across the Sports Fix Radio Network. J-Rock back with you as we roll on, going to the phone lines. My man, the sports writer extraordinaire, Jonathan Knight, getting ready to join us. A whole lot to get into with him. You can talk to us, of course, across social media. Facebook.com/thesportsfix. Tweet with us at the SportsFixCLE. Email us, thesportsfix@AOL.com. We're going to go to the phone lines and get this conversation rolling. JK, my man, how are you doing this Friday? A big kind of a festive, sporty weekend for Cleveland coming up.
It is indeed, and with that in mind, I extend my middle finger in greetings.
There we go. What a way to kick it off, my man. And, of course, you're just showing your spunk and your feistiness, and I can appreciate that, you know. So,
yeah, right.
You know, are you doing it running? Are you running in the house? Are you hiding behind your mom as you do it? Are you waiting?
Well, yeah, I'm walking away from you as I do it,
okay,
and sort of flicking you off from behind as I walk away, which, as we know, is the way John Wayne would do it.
Just absolutely, you know, the cowboy. No, hey, just checking in with you, man. How you doing this week? You feeling good, man?
Yeah, not too bad. I know, like you said, this is a big week, particularly tomorrow. Really, it's kind of the big day. We're going to have 100,000 people downtown Cleveland to watch our various teams. Well, I guess you know, throwing the Gladiators in there, which is fine for now. I think that, you know, it'd be really cool if we really were all three. If it were the Cavs, Indians, and Browns playing at the exact same time, which, you know, barring a deep World Series run by the Indians, that's probably never going to happen for the stars to align quite that way. But this is as close as we're going to get, so it's kind of cool to, as long as you're not sitting in traffic on East 9th trying to get out of there, you know, it's a pretty cool thing to see.
Well, I did the math, and without a World Series run, you simply would need a playoff run by the Indians. There is the possibility for an exhibition Cavaliers game to overlap.
Yeah, that's true. Right.
So you could get close, but you're right. It's just bare. Like, you would have to go all the way to the end.
Yeah, you have to have the Indians playing on Halloween, basically.
Yeah,
and
you got to
the
play
Cavs,
7
so the NBA is still kicking off early. So, yeah.
Exactly, so there's
and having all of it happen on a Sunday. So yes. I don't know. I don't think we're ever going to get there.
There's a slim possibility, but I don't know about that. But yeah, I'm with you. The thing with the Gladiators, I know where you're coming from normally on that, because it's not a major league sport. But the reason I would most definitely include that is because it still is a major event in being the signature event of that league, being the ArenaBowl and all of that. So that, I think, is a bit, you know what I mean? I look at that at a higher level than just say, oh, well, the Gladiators are playing, or even, and this is no disrespect to the Glads, or even that they're in the playoffs, but I like that they don't have a neutral site, which they probably can't afford to. It's better to have the local hosts,
right.
For a league like that, but being able to host the thing, it kind of ties right into everything, and they sold out the queue for that, so, hats off. They've done really well, and Dan Gilbert's done good with the Monsters and with the Gladiators as far as attendance there. But you know what? Something that nobody's talking about, and I saved this for you because I knew you would appreciate something like this, is how about the rebirth of League Park? And I know a lot of people out there probably don't even know what I'm talking about, but this weekend, tomorrow actually, Saturday, 1 p.m., they're going to do the ribbon cutting. They're going to reopen. We're talking one of the most historic ballparks. It's the oldest one still standing, I'm told, built in 1891. Babe Ruth hit his 500th home run there, and they've renovated the place. They're reopening it, and the Baseball Heritage Museum has moved over to there. So a lot of things going on. Talk to me a bit about that, because I figured if there's anybody that would appreciate that, it's you.
Yeah, and that is great. I mean, it's really nice to see. I think there's some creative liberties being taken there when we talk about, oh, yes, it's League Park, it's been refurbished. Like, well, yes, basically what was left was a brick wall. I mean, this isn't like it was a ballpark like we refurbished Fenway Park or something. No, there was basically a pile of bricks that was sitting there, and it was an empty lot this whole time. And they've done a really nice job in sort of recreating it and capturing the spirit of what it once was. So that, and not to disparage it, this is a great thing. And it is, I mean, it's great to see that history being appreciated and being celebrated in a way, because I think a lot of people don't understand that this was the home of the Indians, and even the Browns practiced there. This was their practice facility for the first couple decades that they were around. So there's some history there, and the Indians played for, the better part of 50 years at League Park. So even before they got to Cleveland Stadium, and were splitting between League Park and Cleveland Stadium for the first 14 or 15 years that the Municipal Stadium was open. So a lot of history just in that space, and it's really nice to see it get refurbished. I was out there a few years ago before all of this started, just to kind of check it out and see what was, looking at like an archaeological dig or something, like look at the spot in space where this had happened, and yeah, I mean, it was scary. I mean, let's be honest, it was basically a vacant lot, and it was kind of in a rough neighborhood, and they've taken steps there as well. So it's nice to see that there has been some progress there, and that's something that some people have been working on for a very long time. So this is an incredibly rewarding experience for those who've been waiting a long time for this. So whether or not you're going out to the grand opening this weekend, at some point, if you're in the neighborhood and can swing by and just check it out, just see what's there, and sort of appreciate all the work, not only the work that went into refurbishing it, but the history that's at that place.
I'm looking up, I see a note here on the story of Babe Ruth's 500th home run, and he got the ball from the young man who caught it for an autographed baseball and $20. That's what he traded to get that historic home run ball back.
You get that today, right? Yeah,
right.
That's exactly what a kid would give up a ball for, just for inflation. And it's what, like $100? Like, it's still not that much,
man.
Compared to what we saw with, McGuire and Sosa and whatnot of the 98 and God knows since then. So yeah, a very different time. Sort of tells you a little bit about what was going on at League Park. But it's cool too to kind of picture Cleveland baseball. And we get a little bit of that with Jacobs Field, Progressive Field. You get a little bit of that old-time nook and cranny, old-time park feel, but it is a retro park. But when you see League Park and really see where it is, I mean, it's right smack dab in the middle of a neighborhood, and you get that feel like, wow, yeah, this is like Cleveland's Wrigley Field. It's really kind of cool to see, and in some ways kind of envision what if they had never built Cleveland Stadium? What if the Indians had continued to play at League Park, and it still was a ballpark? I mean, it'd be very different landscape in downtown Cleveland. But it's kind of fun to imagine what would happen had the Indians stuck with that, if not to today, then at least, through another few decades and maybe introduced a couple more generations to League Park. So it's kind of fun to imagine what might have been.
Yeah, and the cool thing I like is that they have a home now again for the museum, the Baseball Heritage Museum, because that thing, needed to find a place to be, and I believe it wasn't that long ago it got flooded. I know that there's been issues with trying to find it, and I always tell people about it. I'm like, man, that's a nifty little undiscovered kind of treasure that's here that people don't even know is here, is that Baseball Heritage Museum.
Yeah, it's sort of almost like a traveling circus, really. I mean, not I don't mean that as a slap, but it almost kind of is. So it's nice to have it, nice to see it have a more permanent home and a better draw to get people to come see it. So it's a big day, a big weekend for them as well.
I was telling somebody, I said, I wish more people cared about stuff like that, man. I said, that's, I don't know, because we see the problems that baseball modern has. So I don't know what hope there is for baseball past, but I definitely wish it the best. That's why I wanted to make sure I mentioned that here. But that's just the kickoff of things. Like we said, that ribbon cutting's at noon, and then boom, it just rolls on. You've got, of course, the Browns game, and we're, this week, I guess I'll just start there with the Browns. What are your thoughts? Obviously, I think nothing different than I think what we expected with the quarterbacks and that kind of thing. So, where are you at? What are you looking to see tomorrow? Because tomorrow's probably the one chance to see a little bit of something about what this team really does have going for it.
Yeah, and I'm afraid we've already seen it. That's my fear. I know that everybody points to the third preseason game. It's sort of the dress rehearsal, and if you're going to take any stock in any of the preseason games, this is the one, or at least the first three quarters of that third preseason game. But boy, after what we saw the other night, and we talked about this a few weeks ago, I think before the first preseason game, and I had mentioned that for me, and I don't get that excited about exhibition games. I certainly try not to get excited about exhibition games or to read too much into it. But the primary thing, and I said this a couple of weeks ago, the primary thing that I look for in preseason games, and the only things that kind of spark any kind of interest, are when you see extremes, when you see someone do extremely well, or unit or team as a whole, whatever, or you see something go extremely bad. And I think we saw the extremely bad in several facets on Monday against Washington. So, yeah, that is very, very disturbing. And I think it even more disturbing is I think it matches a lot of our worst fears. I don't think any of that, maybe we were surprised to see it all come apart so quickly or all at once. But I think that what we saw is there's really not much on offense. This offense is really going to be miserable, whoever is playing quarterback. I think it's been such a smoke screen, the competition between those two guys, and nobody's really stepped back and said, well, does it matter who wins? This offense, there's nothing there. And that's with Gordon on the field. Let's not take away that not forget that he's just going to be gone. He's going to be here for the preseason and then not when the games count. So it's going to get even worse. So, definitely room to improve in this third game. It can't get much worse. Let's put it that way.
No, I understand that. And I've got to tell you, this is what I've told people all week. I know that this offense is going to be a work in progress all season. They're going to rely heavier. They're going to rely more heavily on the run than they have so far in the preseason. And I don't think that they're going to be what they were necessarily in the first half the other day. I just cannot see them. I can't see them being that bad. I mean, Alex Mack, messing up the first snap of the game. Everybody made mistakes, and none of them made them on the same play. So each play, somebody else took a turn screwing something up, and I'm hoping, and maybe you tell me, but I'm hoping, regardless of who is what and in what position, I'm hoping that with everybody being in a position now that maybe that settles things down and that you can kind of spend the next 2.5 weeks just getting ready as a team. These 11 guys and these 11 guys getting ready as units. I think that is something, too, that, I mean, you got to realize, too, that training camp is for some of that mixing around. But now we're into the